All right, so guys, we're working on undoing stuff. We take off the intercooler pipe, okay? And as we do that, literally, we got a quart of oil inside the intercooler. So that means the turbo is obviously shot too. So I don't understand how this car's driving around. I mean, forget about the clanking noise, man. I don't know. Oh well, training's coming out regardless. Maybe the engine's coming out, so we'll see. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Brian's Garage. I know if you're following along with our little Passat journey, we picked that other car up, had a bad bottom end, it seems like. We're gonna get it apart and see, but we came across another deal on an engine, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this out. This car it had a broken timing belt, so we know that the top's messed up, but our top is good, we think, and so the bottom is good on this one. It cranks over, so we'll show you what it sounds like. The crazy thing is it has the same 109,000 miles as ours, so it's like, you know, it found a good home. It's not hitting anything currently, and motor's turning over, so pretty confident that the bottom is good. So we're gonna jump on this thing and start taking everything off. Let's get this front off, let's get the bar off, and start ripping it apart and see if we can't pull this engine out. All right, guys, so we got all the fender liner off on the driver's side. It's easier to access the axle bolts. We got the bumper cover off, the under tray. If you look over here, we got the radiator, core support, condenser, bumper beam, all that stuff. So we're pretty much ready to grab the hoist. We're just gonna go ahead. We got the wire harness unplugged. Like, whoever made this thing was like ridiculous. We had to get the Dremel and like cut it out. It's like, this is stupid. Like, why would you make it to where you can't unplug the ECU? I mean, it's retarded. Anyway, we got everything unhooked, heater, core. We got the downpipe unhooked. Little, you know, it comes off the DPF filter downpipe. All the fuel, we got this all sitting here. And we have all of our mounts, our 3 bolts on this side, our 2 bolts on that side. So we're gonna hook up the hoist, support it, take a little bit of weight off, pull those bolts out, and the goal is maybe lift it just a tiny bit and just pull it out completely. And then we'll just separate the transmission after we got it on the ground, because we don't need it. We don't want to buy that. We'll just take it off, and then that way he can sell it to somebody else and just get top dollar handed to him. So I think let's get the hoist and let's go for it. We had another strap. It was a little heavy on the one side. Our bar is bending a little off center, but what are you gonna do? Make the best of what you got here. So let's, we got the bracket off. We got the bolts out. I think we should be good. I'm just gonna guide that downpipe out as you pull. All right. Okay, we'll just get a piece of wood, set it across, lower it down, and we'll take this transmission off. So, all right, guys, not bad. It's it's taking us about almost about 4 hours to get it out. So, all right, guys. Well, that was a fun afternoon. Whole process took about 5 hours. As you can tell, it's getting dark, but we got the bad boy TDI. We got the motor in the truck at least. So we'll get it home and we'll start tearing it apart. I'm curious to see what's wrong with the head, see if the valves are smashed, and if there's any, you know, hard damage to the pistons. But let's get it home, and then we got another engine to take out of the other car. So we already got the tranny out, so it's kind of half done. So we just got to rip off the front of that car and do a repeat of today. So see you guys then. All right, we're back at the house. Now it's time. We took our donor car. We got the engine out of that. So now it's time to basically we got to do the same thing. We got to take the whole front off again, and we got to get this engine out. Since we already took the tranny out, it's going to be a little bit easier, but let's jump on it. Let's get all the front off, radiator, core support, condenser, all that stuff, and then hook up the hoist, and let's pull this bad boy out and see what's going on. Okay, we got the AC lines out of the way, and we got these little yellow connectors with the lock thing. Those are a pain. Little sensors on each side, so Now our whole assembly is free. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4 coolant line connections, so that's fun. Last step is we want to remove this ECU. It uses break-off security bolts. So the trick is to go ahead and get your Dremel, make a little line across the head, and then you can use a plain tip screwdriver, get it in there, and then break them free. And then we're just going to replace these with a normal, you know, there's plenty of 10mm bolts that are around this length, so we're just going to use that. So these are the easy ones, obviously, but in order to unplug the ECU, it has one here and one here. So we're going to use a little pry bar, get our Dremel in there, and show you how it's done. Obviously, you want this so you don't inadvertently cut your wire harness. That would not be good. So I'm just moving it back and forth a little bit to get the slot a little bit wider, since that Dremel disc is relatively thin. All right, so I'm just using a crescent wrench to give a little leverage because it's still tight. Man, I thought it was only going to be like, 10, 12 foot-pounds of break off, but damn, they are still tight. Yeah, we're definitely switching it to some normal 10mm bolts. This is just, they just don't want you to get to the ECU, do some tuning or something. I don't know what they're doing, but it's stupid. But I had to get that one. I mean, the good news about, cutting it, putting a line in it, is it does heat it up. So that'll help, break things a little bit. But yeah, man, I had to cut it almost all the way through. So, and then of course you might inadvertently nick the frame, but it is what it is. The back one's a little bit tougher. Get your assistant to use the same pry bar, hold it. Get a bigger screwdriver. Get some leverage with the crescent wrench. There we go. Jeez. Yeah, they are way too tight. Unnecessarily tight. So after you get that off, then obviously bracket comes off, and now you can slide both connectors forward and back. All right, so we got our ECU unhooked. So we're just going to feed this down through. Get this out of our way here. Okay, so now we have everything that's connected to the engine separated from the car. So that's good. We have our little sensors up here unplugged. So the only thing we got to do now is just go underneath, undo the 3 nuts for the downpipe, and then we're going to strap up this motor. Got our chain on already, and we're going to see if we can just pull it out. All right, we got the engine hoist hooked up. We got the downpipe disconnected. So we're going to go ahead and just take the weight off a little bit, have it sit here, and then we're going to go ahead and pull this passenger side mount off. Okay, go for it. All right, so it should be hanging there nice now. Should be able to pull it out. The only thing we got left is we have the bottom heater core. Okay, so as you can see down in there, we have that other heater core line, the lower one. Man, it's such a pain. Then you have the cross member down below in the way too. So just got to hold this AC line out of the way. All right, go ahead. Give it a little tug. Hold on. 1 second. We have the O2 sensor. All right, ready? Go ahead. All right. There she blows. Yeah. All right. So next up is we'll move some excess stuff off of there, get it out kind of out our way, and then we want to go ahead and get this mounted to the engine stand, flip it up upside down. Let's pull that pan off and let's see what kind of catastrophe is in the crank, the rods, the end caps. Something's going on down there. So I'm excited to see what's going on.